we're all different heights, weights, body shapes, and we've got different leg lengths. Therefore, we also have different stride lengths and different stride rates.
Well, aside from our biomechanical differences, should we all be running at a higher cadence? Well, we're about to find out. And before we get carried away and start exploring this desired cadence, we should probably make sure that we're all on the same page as to exactly what cadence is. Now, cadence is the number of strides that you take per minute, often displayed on your devices as SPM. And most smartwatches and devices these days will actually display this in real time, so you can start to gauge what your preferred cadence is. But even with the most basic devices, they will at least be able to display this post-workout for analysis.
Well, now we know what it is, why do we care about our running cadence? Well, the speed that our legs move and our stride length determines how fast we run. So if we take bigger strides and we take them more often, we're going to be going quick. So you think, well, if you do that, great, you'll run faster. However, you're just going to be sprinting everywhere. And that's not really going to be any good because you are just going to get exhausted with every run. However, the goal with running is to become as efficient as possible. And in most cases, increasing your cadence just makes you that much more efficient, i.e. you need less oxygen to run at the same speed.
Well, there are a few reasons for this. By increasing your stride rate, it can decrease your foot contact time, your ground contact time, and therefore you're spending more time moving forwards. It also encourages you to overstride less, therefore you're bringing your foot and landing under your center of mass more, rather than out in front of you like a braking force, which in turn will also reduce that downward force and the vertical oscillation in your run gait.
If you've ever watched videos of Mark and I running side by side slow-mo or just seen us running next to each other, you'll notice we are not synchronized. I have a higher cadence. My legs basically move faster. That doesn't mean I'm a better runner though, far from it. Basically just means I've got shorter legs, I've got a shorter stride, and it isn't a competition to see who can get the highest cadence.
Yeah, now there's actually a lot of studies out there that quote 180 SPM as the optimum cadence. However, most of these studies have been performed with elite marathon runners, likely running quite a bit faster than us. Now, if you are already running around 180 SPM or even higher, this probably isn't an area that you need to work on. But for most of us, myself included, we probably could benefit from increasing our cadence somewhat.
Well, in fact, Mark and I don't just have different cadences, we also have different cadences when running at different paces. And that's another reason why we don't want to prescribe a set number. It's only natural to have a lower cadence when you're running more slowly and a higher cadence when you're running faster. And in fact, it's quite interesting if you take a look at your cadence throughout the paces, and we've got some slow-mo shots of us running at different pace with different cadence. Well, for myself, let's say my easy jog is around a 5 minute per kilometre pace. There, I'd have a cadence of around 170 on the whole. When I'm doing a threshold run, so I'm hitting 4 minute per K pace, I'm closer to 180, 185. And if for some reason I sprint, doesn't happen very often, at 315 per K pace, then that's going to be 190 plus.
Whereas for my easy jog, around 5 minutes per kilometre, my cadence would be around 160 SPM. Threshold, around 165, and then when I'm going really hard, 3 minutes per kilometre, for instance, I maybe only just about get up to 170 SPM. Now, if you want to increase your cadence, then you will need to work on it at different paces to make sure that you're benefiting from it fully. Now, a really good place to start with this is actually on the treadmill. What we often see as people try to work on their cadence, particularly trying to increase their cadence, is they actually end up just speeding up. Whereas if you're on a treadmill, you're locked into that speed and you can then really fully focus on the cadence with that. When you're doing it, you can obviously just use a watch to monitor your cadence, or you could just count your strides on one foot for 30 seconds, then times that by 4 for your number. And I'd also suggest making a note of how it felt at these different cadences and paces, just making sure that you are working on likely trying to increase your cadence on the most part.
And then when you head outside, why not try using some sort of metronome or beat? You can either have it on your watch or your phone that's just going to be at that cadence that you want your feet to be replicating. And a nicer way might be to do it actually with a playlist or a soundtrack that's got that right beat. You can find that quite easily by just searching on wherever you listen to your music, and that should help you to start to naturally find that cadence without really having to think too much about it. Then you can look at incorporating some drills, just any drills that are going to help get your feet moving fast. So potentially some skipping or jump rope, double foots to start with. That's going to help you just decrease that ground contact time and increase the speed of your feet. And if you are very skilled with a skipping rope, you could even try doing single feet, so almost trying to replicate the pace or the cadence that you'd be running at while skipping.
Well, jogging on the spot and speeding up your feet, slowing them down again can be another great way of working on and building awareness of this aspect of your running gait. Another one is actually running up and down steps that are placed quite closely to one another, which can be quite a fun way of trying this out too.
And then there's simply running itself without any aids or drills. And this, you are actually just going to have to work on and have a real think about it. So you'll start to become a little bit more aware of what your cadence is. You can have displayed on your watch pace and cadence, maybe have that quite large so it's really obvious before you do start to get the natural feel.
Yeah, another one though that I really quite like to use, and this one is going to require a running partner, and a running partner that has a high cadence to you, is matching your cadence with them. Actually, this is something I quite often do with you, Heather, and you probably have no idea I'm doing it. So I would advise actually letting that person know in case they wonder what on earth you're up to.
Just thought you were mimicking me. I just took it as flattery, to be honest. But I mean, I'm not going to get so much help from you, but cadence is maybe on the high side for me anyway. But we would love to know how you're getting on with your cadence. Hopefully this video has helped you. If you have any further questions, then let us know in the comment section below. And if you have enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit the like button.